Good morning once again, and welcome back to another episode of Drinking Wine at 9. Why? Because it's 9 o'clock
and we be drinking.
Absolutely. And I have a returning guest today. His name is Chris Rowe. He works for Old Bridge Cellars, representing some of the most fantastic Australian and New Zealand wine you can find. And you can definitely find them at Argonaut. So, Chris, welcome back to the table.
Cheers. Thank you for having me,
Absolutely.
as always.
Yes, it's hot summer here in Denver and at the Argonaut, where these wines are going to cool you off. So, let's go.
Yeah, 10 years ago, Mats, we couldn't have done this because we didn't jump into New Zealand until 10 years ago.
Okay.
So this is kind of the celebration of working with New Zealand as part of our portfolio.
We like that.
We're going to talk about Grey Wacky at the end, but that was the first foray for us and one of the most amazing winemakers. And then we've kind of expanded on that as well.
Yes.
So nice to show 3 different styles of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
I'm looking forward to it.
And one of the forgotten wines of New Zealand is the Pinot Noir. And I'm glad we're closing with that.
Okay.
I think it'll be revelatory for people to realize that you can find other grapes besides Sauvignon Blanc
Sure.
from New Zealand. So the first one you're going to start out with is Innocent Bystander.
Oh.
And Innocent Bystander is a winery that we've worked with for over 25 years. They have a winery in Australia.
Right.
But 10 years ago, they partnered up with some friends in New Zealand. They make this wonderful Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc and Central Otago Pinot Noir.
Sure.
About 4,000 cases a year, so quite small, but big enough for us. Stainless steel, which you find the vast majority of New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs are aged in. So what we're really looking for is that wonderful, as you said, tomato vine.
And that minerality.
You get the minerality.
The acidity.
And we keep it on the vine for a little bit longer than some Sauvignon Blancs
yeah.
because we like a little riper finish to it. So it's just not tart and acidic.
Right.
It's just a well-balanced wine that'll last forever.
I like that because it's not that innocent. It's so tasty, refreshing. I know that was bad. Sorry, Brittany.
This family we work with has been actually in Marlborough for over 800 years. So they have not been producing wine for that long, but the family is roots back to that. I can't even count how many generations that is.
It's gorgeous. It's crisp. It's dynamic. It's refreshing. It's
everything you'd like in a summer white.
Yes. Like he said, it's tomato vines. It's a little pomelo. What I love about this is that it's not your morning glass of grapefruit juice.
No.
It's not going to hit you back. No. It's going to just slide down beautifully and just complement whatever you're eating or whomever you're talking to, because it's that kind of wine.
Well, you want a wine that'll be refreshing by the glass, but then will complement food. And I mean, one of your favorites, oysters. This is a perfect match for that. Shellfish, all day
Shrimp,
here.
oysters.
And anything you'd have outside on the patio in the summer, perfect match for it.
And people think that Denver is a landlocked state, which you're absolutely correct. But there are places where you can get good seafood, where you can get some, even if it's freshly frozen, that's not a bad thing.
This is a different world than it was 30 years ago.
Right.
The airport gets deliveries by the dozen every morning.
Sure.
And so the freshest seafood, there are places, like many good sushi places, that have it flown in from Japan the night before.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to number 2.
Yes, love that. So another Sauv Blanc, and excited about this, as you might know, Greg Norman, the golfer. Go on.
We don't let him make the wine. We have partnered with Greg, and we work with another wonderful family here in New Zealand. And about 5,000 cases produced on their beautiful estate in Marlborough. This actually stays on the vine a little bit longer,
I can
even
taste
than
it.
Innocent Bystander. So it's not sweet, but it's got a nice ripe finish. So you get more of the guava, almost a pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's your shirt.
Maybe, but it's not terribly cloying, but it has that viscosity. It has that body and that dynamic where it's different from that, and it's an element unto its own.
Yeah, it really is. Again, small production for all of our wineries. These two are both less than 5,000 a year. I will put in a little plug that I forgot to mention, that actually all of these wines have 90 points or better from Wine Spectator.
Can't beat that.
That's a vast majority of our whole portfolio. So great value, but also highly rated. And after you buy your bottle of Innocent Bystander at Argonaut, you can also enjoy it by the glass at the Moxie Hotel in Cherry Creek.
Imagine that.
Let's move on to actually what got us into New Zealand in
Okay.
the first place. So Kevin Judd
Yes.
was the winemaker at Cloudy Bay.
He was.
He was the original. He's getting a lot of press this year because it's Cloudy Bay's 40th anniversary.
Right.
Kevin looked at Sauvignon Blanc differently when he started. He wanted to look at wild yeast fermentation, but also barrel age and barrel ferment.
Yes.
So he took that with him. The term greywacke actually is the compressed sandstone. It's the river rock
Right, the
that's
river
found at the
rock.
beds of some of his favorite vineyards. He trademarked the name back in his Cloudy Bay days, knowing one day if he had his own winery, that's what he wanted to call
Yes.
it. So it's a geological term, but it's become synonymous with some of the best Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
The last 2 vintages of Greywacke Sauvignon Blanc have been top 100 for Wine Spectator, and the last vintage, 2023, was number 10.
Yes.
So he's garnered a lot of press for a very small production.
Yeah. And just to let the viewers know, Kevin Judd is currently the winemaker
Yes,
at
yeah.
Greywacke.
He left Cloudy Bay in 2008, started Greywacke in 2009.
Yes.
So he is, he's at 16,
amazing.
17 years. He is
Right.
amazing.
And the
we
wines.
love his wines.
Yes, they show. And
Now
this
the
is
bonus is that the production was a little higher in 2024,
Okay.
and we stole some from a few other countries. So we're probably not going to run out this year. Normally we're out by this time,
Yeah.
but it looks like
wow.
we'll probably have enough wine to go through until the next vintage release in the fall.
Good.
So come find it here at Argonaut.
Yes.
There are a lot of great fans of Greywacke.
Yes.
Sheila has supported this since vintage 1.
She sure
She actually
has.
had lunch with Kevin about 12 years ago
Oh,
when we
I'm
rolled
so
in.
jealous. Miss
Yeah.
Sheila is amazing. And so is this wine because it's soft, it's supple. It is so inviting and
It's not your
It's
typical
friendly.
New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Right,
The
right.
barrel aged and barrel ferment. Now it may smell like New Zealand Sauvignon
Sure.
Blanc, but once you get it on your palate, it has a rich creaminess,
Yeah.
and the finish just goes on. You don't find that with 95% of
exactly.
Sauvignon Blancs
That's
from
what
New
I
Zealand.
like. It is creamy. It has mango and guava, papaya, pineapple. It's not just pomelo and grapefruit and boom,
I remember
tomato
taking this
vines,
out.
which I love. Don't get me wrong, but this is on a different level.
The first vintage we had, I remember taking this out to consumers and to buyers. They were saying, I don't like New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, or I'm not really a big fan. And then they taste this and they said, I really love this
Yeah,
wine
yeah.
because it's so different and it sets its kind of its own category.
Sure, and that just lends credibility to Kevin, the winemaker, who is at the top of his
It
game.
really is, really is. We're going to stay with Greywacke,
Yes,
and
we
as I
are.
mentioned, the unheralded varietal Pinot Noir. So he actually has a small vineyard in Marlborough as well.
Sure.
Marlborough, for those of you who don't know, it's the northern tip of the southern island.
Yes.
That is where the vast majority of Sauvignon Blanc comes from. Now, Sauvignon Blanc's about 98% of everything imported to
Pretty
America,
much.
but Pinot Noir is not too far behind it in terms of recognition now. This wine actually has been top 100 for Wine Spectator as well, and because we only get a few thousand cases, we kind of forget sometimes that we have it.
Yeah.
But again, it's always been here. Sheila's been supporting this since day
She
one.
has.
And it's in the New Zealand section, so sometimes it's overlooked when they go to look for Pinot Noir.
But it's on the
this
top
one,
shelf.
Yeah, it
It's
is on the top shelf.
so you
This
can't
one
mess
needs to
with
be
it.
searched out.
Yes, it's so good. It's so rich. It's so decadent, but it's not overwhelming. It's not overpowering.
It doesn't taste like any other region. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't say this is Oregon or California or Burgundy.
Correct.
This tastes like it's from a
New
place.
Zealand.
But if you don't have a reference point to how New Zealand Pinot Noir tastes,
Yeah.
this is the benchmark.
I mean, you get some medium fruit. It's not all of your dark black berries, cherries, raspberries. It has depth and balance. You get a little bit of cassis and red currants, and maybe a hint of macerated cherries.
And the smokiness and the dried
Yeah,
fruit on
yeah,
the nose,
yeah. But
it's so inviting.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not overwhelming.
And you
or
put a little chill on
overpowering.
this
Yes,
today,
yes,
which-
I did. I did.
Like a lot
brings-
of good light
Yes.
red wines in the summer, they can do very well with 5 or 10 degree chill on
Yeah,
it.
it brings out the flavor and the essence of what this wine should represent, and it does that beautifully.
Thank you.
And Chris, I can't thank you enough for joining me again during hot summer at Argonaut, featuring Australian wines and New Zealand wines, simply because you're at the top of your craft, and these wines just need to be rediscovered. So thank you
Well,
again.
thank you, Matt. So you guys have always been a great supporter, and my
And-
pleasure to do these.
And we look forward to everybody coming down to Argonaut. Cheers.
Cheers.